Before we dive into today's topic, I want to tell you about something that's changed how I approach pigeon health and performance. I run another channel called Pigeon Healthy where I share natural herbal treatment methods that most fanciers have never heard of. We're talking about plants and natural remedies that have powerful healing and performance-enhancing effects on pigeons. Things like specific herb combinations that boost immunity, natural treatments for respiratory diseases, plants that improve digestion and recovery after races, and natural alternatives to chemical medications. We cover pigeon diseases you might be struggling with right now: canker, respiratory infections, coccidiosis, worms, and show you exactly how to treat them using natural methods that actually work. No guessing. No expensive medications with side effects. Just proven herbal protocols used by top European lofts. If you're serious about keeping your birds healthy naturally and improving their performance without chemicals, go subscribe to Pigeon Healthy right now. The knowledge there could save you birds, save you money, and give you an edge your competition doesn't have. Now let's get into today's topic. Last season I had bird with perfect genetics. Son of a national champion. The bird trained beautifully. Fast returns. Good trap discipline. Strong loft flying. I expected this bird to win races. First race, 28th place out of 90 birds. Disappointing, but I thought maybe he had bad day. Second race, 34th place. Third race, 41st. Consistently mediocre despite having everything right. Genetics, training, health. I was frustrated. What was wrong? I took the bird to Belgian fancier who was visiting the region. I asked him to evaluate the bird. Tell me what's wrong. He caught the bird. Felt the keel. Looked at me and said immediately, this bird is too fat. It's carrying 25 to 30 grams of excess body fat. That's why it's not winning. I was shocked. The bird looked lean to my eye. Not fat at all. He explained. Visual assessment doesn't reveal fat. You must palpate the keel. Feel for fat deposits. This bird has significant fat padding on the keel and around the vent. It's flying with unnecessary weight. Until you get this bird lean, it will never perform to its genetic potential. I didn't believe him initially. How could slightly more body fat make difference between 28th place and winning? He explained the physics. 25 grams of fat on a 340-gram bird is 7% extra body weight. That bird must generate 7% more power to fly at the same speed as a lean bird. Over 300 kilometers, that extra effort accumulates. The fat bird becomes exhausted earlier. Slows down. Arrives minutes behind the lean birds. Additionally, fat changes aerodynamics. Creates bulkier profile. Increases drag. Makes flight less efficient. The combination of extra weight plus increased drag can cost 15 to 25 minutes over long race. That's the difference between first place and out of prizes. I implemented his feeding recommendations. Reduced daily feed from 40 grams to 28 grams. Switched from corn-heavy mix to wheat and barley-heavy mix. Within 3 weeks, the bird lost 28 grams. Weight dropped from 342 grams to 314. The keel became sharp and defined. The padding was gone. I raced the bird again. Fourth race of season. First place. 52-minute margin over second place. Same bird. Same genetics. Same training. Only variable was body fat percentage. Losing the fat transformed him from mediocre to champion. Today I'm teaching you the 5-second belly fat test that reveals whether your birds are race fit or carrying performance-killing fat, the science of how fat destroys performance, and the protocols to get birds razor-sharp lean. Let me start by teaching you the proper keel palpation technique. The keel is the breastbone, the prominent vertical bone running down the center of the chest. The pectoral muscles, the flight muscles, attach on both sides of the keel. In a race-fit bird, the keel should feel like a sharp blade. Prominent, well-defined edges, muscle tight against the bone, no fat padding. In an overfat bird, the keel feels rounded and blunt. Fat deposits between skin and muscle create soft padding that obscures the bone's sharp edges. Here's how to test properly. Catch the bird. Hold it on its back in your palm, head away from you, tail toward you. Use your dominant hand's thumb and index finger. Place thumb on left side of keel, finger on right side. Start at the front of the keel near the crop. Gently press inward with both thumb and finger. You should feel hard bone immediately with minimal soft tissue between your fingers and the bone. Now slide your thumb and finger slowly down the keel toward the tail. Feel the entire length. The keel should feel consistently sharp and hard from front to back. Pay special attention to 3 areas. First, the sides of the keel at mid-chest level. This is where muscle should be thickest. In race-fit bird, you feel firm muscle with keel bone prominent in the center like a sharp ridge. In overfat bird, you feel soft padding obscuring the keel ridge. The muscle feels less defined. Second area is the keel end near the vent. In race-fit bird, this area is hard and defined. The keel end is pointy or at least firm. In overfat bird, this area feels soft and rounded. Fat deposits accumulate here first. If the keel end feels soft and puffy, the bird is definitely carrying excess fat. Third area is under the wings in the armpit region. Lift the wing slightly. Feel the pocket where wing joins body. In race-fit bird, this area is smooth and flat with minimal tissue. In overfat bird, you can feel small fat pockets, soft lumpy deposits in the armpit. This is advanced fat accumulation. If bird has fat in armpits, it's seriously overfat. The entire palpation takes 5 seconds per bird. With practice, you can assess body fat instantly by feel. Your fingers become calibrated to what race-fit versus overfat feels like. You develop reference points. This bird is perfect. That bird has slight fat. That bird has serious fat. The assessment is more accurate than weighing because weight alone doesn't distinguish muscle from fat. Two birds can weigh identical amounts, but one is lean muscle, the other is muscle plus fat. The Keel test reveals the difference. Now let me explain the physiology of how fat impairs performance. First mechanism is increased weight. Every gram of body mass must be lifted and propelled during flight. This requires energy. If gram is functional tissue, muscle or bone or organs, the energy cost is justified. Those tissues perform essential functions. But if gram is stored fat, it's dead weight. Fat tissue doesn't contribute to flight. It just adds mass that must be carried. Bird carrying 30 grams of excess fat is like human running marathon while carrying 10 kilogram weighted vest. Possible? Yes. Efficient? No. Every step requires extra effort. Fatigue accumulates faster. Performance suffers. The energy cost of carrying excess fat is proportional. If bird is 7% overfat, flight costs approximately 7% more energy. Over short distance like 10 kilometers, this is manageable. Bird might finish slightly slower, but difference isn't dramatic. Over 300 kilometers, 7% extra energy cost means bird must either slow down to conserve energy or maintain speed but exhaust energy stores earlier and crash near the end. Either way, performance suffers significantly. The math is straightforward. Excess fat equals excess energy cost equals slower times. Second mechanism is altered aerodynamics. Bird body is naturally streamlined. Smooth contours minimize air resistance. Fat deposits disrupt streamlining. Belly fat creates bulky profile. Back fat creates irregular surface. These changes increase drag. More air resistance means more energy required to maintain speed. The effect compounds with the weight penalty. Bird is heavier and less aerodynamic. Both factors increase energy costs simultaneously. Flight efficiency plummets. Third mechanism is impaired thermoregulation. Flight generates enormous heat. Muscle contractions produce metabolic heat as byproduct. Bird must dissipate this heat to prevent overheating. Evaporative cooling through respiratory system and radiative cooling through skin and feathers are primary mechanisms. Fat is excellent insulator. It traps heat. Bird with thick fat layer cannot dissipate heat as efficiently as lean bird. During long race, overfat bird gradually overheats. Overheating forces the bird to slow down. Slower flight generates less heat, allowing temperature to drop slightly. But this means reduced performance. Lean bird maintains higher speed without overheating. Overfat bird must choose between overheating or slowing down. Fourth mechanism is reduced muscle efficiency. When bird is overfat, fat accumulates in muscle tissue. Not large deposits but microscopic fat droplets within muscle cells. This intramuscular fat impairs muscle function. The muscle fibers can't contract as efficiently. Power output decreases. Additionally, fat can accumulate around organs including liver. Fatty liver disease reduces liver function. Liver processes metabolic byproducts during flight. Impaired liver means byproducts accumulate in blood causing fatigue. The bird feels tired earlier despite having energy stores. It's not lack of fuel. It's accumulation of waste products that impaired liver can't clear fast enough. All four mechanisms combine. Excess weight, poor aerodynamics, overheating, reduced muscle and liver function. The cumulative effect on performance is massive. Bird that's 10 to 15% overfat will race 20 to 30% slower than same bird at race-fit condition. This isn't exaggeration. I've measured it repeatedly. Take overfat bird, reduced to race-fit condition, race times improve dramatically. The genetics didn't change. The training didn't change. The fat level changed and performance transformed. Now let me teach you how to assess optimal body fat percentage and target weight. Ideal racing condition is 3 to 5% body fat. This means if bird weighs 320 grams, 10 to 16 grams is fat, 304 to 310 grams is lean mass. This is lean enough to minimize weight and maximize efficiency but enough fat reserve to sustain 300-kilometer flight without depleting to dangerous levels. Below 3% body fat, bird enters underweight territory. Risks include inability to sustain long flights, impaired immune function, excessive stress. Above 7% body fat, bird enters overfat territory. Performance penalties become significant. Most racing pigeons should weigh between 300 to 340 grams depending on frame size. Small frame birds, lighter bone structure, should be 300 to 315 grams. Medium frame 315 to 330. Large frame 330 to 345. But these are wide ranges. Within your birds there's individual variation. The Keel test tells you whether specific bird is at correct weight regardless of scale number. If bird weighs 330 but keel is well defined with no fat padding, that's correct weight for that bird's structure. If bird weighs 300 but keel feels fat padded, that bird is overfat despite low scale weight. This is why keel palpation is more important than weighing. You're assessing body composition, not just total mass. Two birds weighing 320 grams can have completely different compositions. One is 305 grams lean mass plus 15 grams fat, 5% fat, race fit. Other is 290 grams lean mass plus 30 grams fat, 9% fat, overfat. The scale says both are 320. The Keel test reveals one is perfect, other needs to lose 15 grams. Trust your fingers more than the scale. Now let me teach you what causes excess fat accumulation and how to prevent it. 'Cause one is overfeeding. Most fanciers feed too much. They provide 40 to 50 grams of feed per bird per day. They think more food equals more energy equals better performance. Wrong. Birds need approximately 25 to 35 grams per day depending on training load and season. During intense training or racing season, maybe 35 grams. During light training, maybe 25. If you consistently feed 45 grams, the extra 10 to 20 grams gets stored as fat. Over weeks, significant fat accumulates. The solution is measure feed precisely. Don't estimate by eye. Use a scale. Weigh 25 grams of your feed mix. See what volume that is? That's roughly 1 day's ration for one bird during racing season. Provide exactly that amount per bird per day. Don't exceed it. If birds are losing weight, increase slightly. If birds are gaining weight or Keel test shows fat, decrease slightly. Precision prevents overfeeding. Cost 2 is wrong feed composition. Even if total quantity is controlled, wrong proportions of grain types causes fat accumulation. Corn is high in oil. Sunflower, safflower, hemp are high in oil. These seeds provide concentrated calories. Small amount adds significant energy. If your mix is 30 to 40% corn and oil seeds, birds accumulate fat easily even on controlled portions. The solution is reduce oil seeds. During racing season, keep corn below 15%, oil seeds below 10% combined. The bulk of feed should be wheat, barley, peas. These are lower oil content. Birds get adequate energy without excess calories that become fat. Cost 3 is insufficient training. Birds that loft fly 30 minutes per day and train once per week don't burn enough calories. They store excess as fat. Solution is increase activity. Loft flying should be 60 plus minutes daily. Training tosses should be twice per week minimum during season. The increased activity burns calories and prevents fat storage. Active birds stay lean. Inactive birds get fat regardless of feeding control. Cause 4 is no fasting. In nature, pigeons don't eat consistent amounts every day. Some days food is abundant. Other days scarce. This variation prevents fat accumulation. Domestic birds fed exactly the same amount every single day adapt by storing more fat as protection against possible future scarcity. Solution is implement weekly fasting. 1 day per week, skip the evening feeding. Birds eat in morning, nothing in evening. Crop empties completely overnight. This 24-hour partial fast triggers fat metabolism. The body burns fat stores for energy. Weekly fasting prevents long-term fat accumulation even with generous feeding other days. Cause 5 is treats and extras. Some fanciers give peanuts, bread, rich supplements. These extras add calories beyond the measured feed ration. Birds accumulate fat. Solution is eliminate all extras during racing season. Feed measured ration only. No treats. No supplements except essential minerals and vitamins. Treats are for off-season. Racing season is lean season. Now let me give you the 3-week fat-burning protocol for birds that tested over fat. Week 1, switch to wheat-only feeding. I detailed this in video 13. Wheat-only diet forces fat metabolism. Birds lose 15 to 25 grams in first week, mostly fat. The keel becomes noticeably more defined. Feed 25 to 30 grams wheat per day. Nothing else except water and grit. Train normally. Don't reduce training thinking birds need rest. They don't. They need calorie deficit to burn fat. Training creates that deficit. Week 2, transition back to racing mix but reduced portions. After wheat-only week, birds are leaner but might need variety. Return to balanced racing mix but feed 28 to 30 grams per day maximum. Continue normal training. Monitor keel daily. Fat should not return. If it does, reduce portions further. Week 3, birds should reach race-fit condition. Keel is sharp. Fat padding is gone. Maintain this condition through precise feeding and consistent training. Birds are ready to race. This 3-week protocol works reliably. I've used it dozens of times. Overfat birds lose 25 to 35 grams. Approximately 80% of lost weight is fat, 20% is water and digestive content. Lean mass stays stable or increases slightly. The birds don't become weak or unhealthy. They become lean and fast. Race performance improves dramatically. Let me compare American versus European approach to body condition. American fanciers often equate healthy with well-fed. Fat birds are considered healthy. Lean birds are considered stressed or underfed. This is backwards. In Belgium, championship lofts maintain birds razor-sharp lean during racing season. Keels are prominent. Body fat is minimal. These birds don't look fat and happy. They look like wild birds. Intense, lean, athletic. And they win consistently. American birds look soft and comfortable. Belgian birds look hard and ready. The performance difference matches the visual difference. When I visited Belgian lofts, every fancier performed keel test before basketing birds for races. Birds that felt even slightly soft were left home. Only perfectly lean birds raced. This discipline ensures every bird sent to race has optimal body composition. Americans often basket entire team without checking individual condition. Some birds are race fit. Others are overfat. Results are inconsistent. Belgians basket only race-fit birds. Results are consistently good. If this video revealed that your birds are carrying performance-killing belly fat you didn't know existed, hit the like button. Subscribe for condition management protocols that separate winners from losers. Comment belly fat if you tested your birds after watching this and found fat padding you need to eliminate. And visit Pigeon Healthy for safe fat-burning support protocols. Natural metabolism boosters, digestive optimizers, and liver support help birds burn fat efficiently without health compromise. Test every bird, eliminate the fat, race only lean champions. That's how winning is done. See you in next video.